Anfernee Simons is going to be a superstar. After being drafted with a mid to late first round draft selection, Anfernee has done a great job at consistently improving his game season after season, until eventually this season he's having the best season of his career by far, and he's looking incredible. But quickly before we get the video started, for those of you who may not know, I'm Juicy Sports, I make opinionative NBA content, and if you guys enjoy videos similar to this, hit that subscribe button, that like button, and that post notification bell. I also want to quickly mention that I recently started up an MMA channel, and if you guys are interested in that, the link will be in the description. But anyways, let's get into it. Anfernee Simons wasn't a highly touted prospect coming into the NBA. He was seen as a player that had some ability, specifically scoring ability, but he wasn't necessarily seen as a player that could potentially be an all-star or a superstar in the NBA in the future. And due to this, Anfernee was only drafted with a 24th overall selection during the 2018 NBA draft by the Portland Trailblazers. And typically when you're talking about a player that gets drafted in that kind of range, you're typically talking about a guy that may have some potential going forward, but he doesn't necessarily have everything put together yet. And in my opinion, for Anfernee Simons, that's exactly the case for him, but he had a ton of ability and a ton of skill that in my opinion teams didn't necessarily see. But of course, similar to most other rookies, Anfernee did start off pretty slow in his rookie season. In his rookie year, he only put up 3.8 points per game on 44% shooting from the field, 0.7 rebounds on 0.7 assists as well. Now of course those numbers don't sound good whatsoever, but Anfernee wasn't really getting much of an opportunity in his rookie year. He only played 20 games on the season, averaging 7 minutes per game as well. But similar to a lot of other rookies, Anfernee's rookie season wasn't necessarily meant for him to play all that much. It was more so meant for him to learn from behind the scenes, learn from a guy named Damian Lillard, learn from other guys on his team how to train, how to get better in the NBA, how to eat well, all these different things that maybe rookies wouldn't necessarily expect was something that Anfernee really learned in his rookie year. And in his second season, he got a much bigger opportunity, averaging around 8.3 points per game on 40% shooting from the field, 2.2 rebounds on 1.4 assists. Now of course, once again, his second season wasn't all that good, but he was showing improvement, and in certain possessions, he was showing certain flashes of what he could potentially be going forward. During the 2020 season, Anfernee had a very similar season, averaging 7.8 points per game on 42% shooting from the field, 2.2 rebounds on 1.4 assists to his game as well. And I guess you can technically say he regressed very slightly from 2019 to 2020, but in my opinion, it was just a very similar season. And also I thought he showed a little bit more during that 2020 season, some more flashes than he did in 2019, so overall I would say he was going in the right direction. But the season following that, during the 2021 season, is really where everything changed for him, and he had his real breakout season. During that year, he bumped up all his statistics, averaging 17 points per game on 44% shooting from the field, 2.6 rebounds on 3.9 assists as well. Now at that point, Anfernee was putting up incredible numbers, and he was truly living up to the expectations that the Portland Trailblazers had for him for so long. Because the Blazers were saying for years at this point that Anfernee was going to break out eventually, they just didn't know when. Because they saw him in practice all the time, and they saw the type of potential and the type of skill that he had. And although it did take some time, clearly they were right, as he was playing extremely well during that 2021 NBA season. Now something that I mentioned in some of my videos is I think NBA fan bases are sometimes a little too quick to write off some young players. And what I mean by this is if a young player doesn't play all that well in their rookie season, or maybe even in their second season as well, NBA fan bases immediately call that player an NBA draft bust and want their team to move on from him. But Anfernee Simons is an absolute perfect example of what holding on to your young talent and believing in your young talent can do going forward. Because of course at this point we know Anfernee Simons is very good, but imagine if the Portland Trailblazers decided to move on from him after a season or two, or maybe even 3, due to the fact that he wasn't playing all that well. Imagine how bad they would feel at this point based upon how well he's playing. Now the main reason why I do think that mindset stands for most NBA fan bases is we see more and more players all the time turn out to be very good right away. Perfect examples of this is Zion Williamson when he's healthy, also Ja Morant. Now of course they improved after that, but early on into the rookie seasons, they were already looking like all-star type guys. So when some NBA fans look at players like that and they compare it to a different player that isn't playing well whatsoever in their rookie season or their second season, you can really see why they would consider that player a draft bust very early on. But luckily for the Portland Trailblazers, they decided to stay patient with Anfernee, mostly due to the fact that they saw something in practice from him, and of course that panned out for them. But although he had a really nice breakout season last season during the 2021 season, so far this season he's broken out once again. On the year he's averaging 25 points per game on 44% shooting from the field, 3 rebounds on 4.5 assists to his game as well. And while those numbers are extremely impressive and really show the type of player that he is, in my opinion Anfernee is an even better scorer than those numbers would suggest. He's a true 3-level scorer. From that 3-point range, he has a really nice ability to hit that catch and shoot 3-point jump shot, while also having a very nice ability to create for himself from that range as well, meaning he has a really nice crossover into a 3-point jump shot, sidestep step back, runs the pick and roll very well to find that 3-point jump shot for himself, and basically from that 3-point range he can do anything he wants. And he's also shooting 40% from deep as well. But it doesn't stop there for Anfernee. From that mid-range, Anfernee also has all the abilities that he has from that 3-point range, while also adding a pretty decent post turnaround fadeaway to his game as well, which is something that is unique for that point guard position, but Anfernee does have very good size, phenomenal athleticism, and really good wingspan as well to really help him make that jump shot a lot easier. But besides that, Anfernee has a really nice floater within his game as well. But talking about his driving and finishing ability, Anfernee is also extremely talented from this range as well. He has a great ability to finish around or through contact with his left or right hand, either finishing with and-one finishes or just finishing in general. He's also extremely athletic, as he was just in the NBA dunk contest a few seasons back, so clearly he has the ability to posterize players whenever he wants. So from top to bottom, Anfernee Simons is just a very talented and very skilled scorer that in my opinion is only going to improve as the seasons do progress. But although his scoring ability is extremely impressive, in my opinion this season the thing that really impresses me is his passing and playmaking ability. Now when you look at his statistics from last year to this season, he's only averaging around a half assist more, but when you watch him out there, I just feel like he looks a lot more comfortable facilitating and just looks a lot better in my opinion. At this point, Anfernee does a really nice job at calming down the offense and running crisp offensive sets and always knowing where his teammates are going to be out there on the court. And the reason why that's important is it just makes everybody else's lives out there easier and just makes your team play a lot better and more efficiently. Now, Anfernee is getting help from Damian Lillard, of course, with the facilitating abilities and responsibilities, I should say, but when Dame isn't on the court, Anfernee has shown the ability to run an NBA offense at a pretty high level. And when you're talking about a guy that's as talented and as skilled of a scorer as Anfernee Simons is, while also being a pretty good to good passer and playmaker, now you're talking about an extremely valuable and an extremely good player. And in my opinion, long term, I just see Anfernee continuously improving his game season after season until he eventually becomes a superstar. I honestly think he has that kind of potential, and I almost would expect him to, at the bare minimum, be a legitimate all-star for years to come. But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think Anfernee Simons could be a potential superstar going forward, or do you not think so? But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did enjoy it, check one of these 2 videos popping up now, and until the next time, peace out guys.